Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Monday, February 27th, 2012 is sponsored by RealTick. Alright, let's get right into the mix here. Markets are trending higher again after a pretty ugly gap down. It was a decent sized gap down. Dow was down about 100 points at the lows of the day. But just like we've seen pretty much every day in 2012, the market saw a buy program come in and a massive surge to the upside. And this buy program, again, was utilized by the drop in the dollar. The dollar you could just see slowly fading from about the 10 o'clock time frame on, and this just sent the markets ripping higher. Again, that combined with a little Federal Reserve PPT plunge protection team buy program, and again, markets find themselves right at that 13,000 level on the Dow. S&P's up about 3, and the Nasdaq's up about 5 points on the day. Now, again, what we did see here was that initial major surge, which took us all the way to the pivot high from Friday. At that point, you stalled out, consolidated. Then you got this big pop with a nice long tail on top, taking us to new highs, and then ultimately we've consolidated and pulled back off of that. Now, the key is going to be where do they close this market? Based on proprietary signals, folks, it's looking like today is a very pivotal day in terms of where the Dow closes, where the SPY, S&P closes as well. Do we close above that 13,000 level on the SPY? That would be above the 137.20 level, or do we close below? If we close below, it would raise some flags for me in terms of understanding where this market may go over the next week or so. And again, should we close below, I wouldn't be surprised to see some selling coming in. And part of the reasoning is psychology. If you just think psychology-wise, the market, again, it tries and tries and tries. There's going to be a pivot point where if it can't close above 13,000, you're going to have some sellers come out of the woodworks and start to sell a little bit more, a little harder, I would say, to the downside, as opposed to what we've been seeing over the last week or so when this Dow has been hammering on that 13,000 level. All right, so again, that's where we are seeing right now. My guess is they will close it above 13,000. Volume, again, very, very light this afternoon, almost non-existent, and they're holding it right here. Anytime they hold the market right around a level like this on consolidation, you have a lot of shorts that were in the market from over here, and over here, and towards the end of the day, those shorts will have to cover, which is forced buying, and that usually is the propeller for a move up above the 13,000 or the 137.20 level. On the off chance it does not close above that level, then again, be prepared to look for some downside over the next 3 to 5 trading days, leading into a major possible key that we have or are about to reveal to our research center members and intraday stock chat members. So again, what I've essentially been doing, folks, is slowly accumulating over the last week or so. Especially today, I accumulated a little bit more on the short side, preparing for a possible downtick in the markets. If you want to know those exact trades, which are time-stamped, entry, target, stops are given out to our members here, join the research center. It's geared more towards swing traders, and the intraday stock chat is geared towards day traders. Again, there's a 7-day free trial. And again, this is the time to get involved because it's going to get wacky now over the next few weeks, and you want to be involved and capture the gains that we will be capturing. All right, again, I initiated a new short on this market, but it's a specific stock. It's a specific stock that looks, based on a master level, to be right at the point of best shortability. Right. In addition, I'm holding another short which is in the money, and that's the key, folks. Again, if you pick the levels correctly, you should do very, very well, regardless of the market, if it goes up a little higher or not. And that's based on proprietary methodology we will teach you here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Again, should you come and take the 7-day free trial and stay with us inside the Research Center or the Intraday Stock Chat. Now, again, just going back to this chart here, again, very choppy sideways action, 20 moving averages support. We're hovering up in the range where you would generally think the market will be able to support itself for a late-day little surge above that 13,000 level. You know the media wants to pump that. They've been pumping it all day above 13,000 to get as many individuals bullish. In addition, Warren Buffett was on TV this morning talking the market's up big time, which you would anticipate would have that influence on the markets as well, bringing retail money back in. Remember, when retail money fully gets invested, that's when the markets have topped. All right, now I want to take a look at a couple other things. Obviously, let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar initially, this is where you got that initial surge on the markets. Remember we talked about how the dollar just started to decline right around 10 o'clock? That drop in the dollar was the result in the move up in the markets. And ever since then, the markets have, or I should say the dollar has really just gone sideways. And again, you can mirror that with the SPY. But next I want to go to the GLD. GLD is flat on the day, really nothing doing there. The SLV is flat as well, just up 13 cents. This is the intraday SLV, which is silver's ETF. And ultimately the USO. Now this USO I want to spend a second on because this was something I talked about to my members as well noting the master resistance that was tagged on Friday. Look at this daily chart. If I flip to the daily chart, look at what you see here. See this gap fill right here? All right, that level right there, which happens to be at the $42 level on the USO. Well, notice how on Friday, that's where you closed. All right, and again, this is how the charts tell you the future. If you can read the charts properly, you can tell every up and down move in the markets that's coming ahead of time and position yourself to maximize profit. And again, just looking at this very clearly, folks, you can see it gap fills right there. This is gap window, actually, gap window. And then right off of gap window, it pulls back today down 50 cents. So again, if you just know the charts, you can know the future. And again, we can teach you that very easily here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, now a couple other stocks I want to touch on. Priceline reports earnings after the bell. Priceline's up about $2. Stock is very, very extended, but I do not have a good read on whether or not it's going to pull back on earnings. It hasn't crossed the $600 level. I had talked about this over the weekend, that 600 would be the key level to watch, and it hasn't gotten there. So it's going to have to remain a neutral going into earnings, as it's too high risk to really go short or go long on. A couple other stocks in motion. Apple Inc., AAPL, trading above the highs from the big sell-off. And again, the big sell-off we captured here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. We were short the stock as it collapsed. And again, beautifully done. We mastered a $25 increase or gain on the first half of that stock before getting stopped out break even as it came back up. And now I'm looking again to decide whether or not to short this. I'd like to see the 530 level pierce before I take another short on Apple, but I have to be looking as well, not only at price, but pattern and time. Remember, In the Money Stock focuses on keys that really no one else focuses on: price, pattern, and time. And right here, price is getting in that range once we get above 530 that I would like as a short. But pattern and time need to coincide, and that's what we now have to look for. All right, and again, pattern's getting very, very close. I will give you that. Pattern is definitely on the close side. I'll be watching this towards the end of the day. Again, maybe we go up a little bit more if we see this market push up. But Apple's up, market's up. It's that simple. Apple, again, makes up 20% of the Qs and a huge percentage of the S&P 500. Therefore, if Apple's up, which it is today, chances are the markets will be up as well. Looking at a couple other stocks, IBM is up 55 cents today. This stock continues to be hovering essentially at all-time highs. If you zoom out on the chart, you can just see how far this stock has come. And again, another huge component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, trying to get it above 13,000. Caterpillar, key chart here, down about 15 cents. Not really rallying with the markets, although not down much as well. I still happen to think it's very intriguing to me that you had this little bit of a micro topping tail, and then you draw a trend line across, and you have yet to close above that trend line. You have not closed above that high of the topping tail yet, which is significant as a possible bearish signal. So I'll be watching that one as well. JP Morgan Chase, JPM. Good day today on this, up 46 cents. Warren Buffett talked the financials up, calling them essentially the strongest they have ever been here in the U.S. Just the U.S. financials, of course, but nonetheless, JPM getting a good bounce on that. Goldman, on the other hand, is basically flat, not participating, but Wells Fargo is having a very solid day, up 77 cents. This was another specific stock that Warren Buffett talked up. All right, remember, when he's talking these things up and they're trading at their highs, you almost want to start looking at the opposite side of the coin. In terms of a short instead of a long. You let the amateurs jump in, you let the amateurs buy it up, and then you want to, after about 3 days, look for that shorting opportunity, which can be fine. And it can be a beautiful opportunity there. All right, next up, what I want to do is go to a couple other stocks. MasterCard is hovering at the 318 level. A couple weeks ago, I gave the 420 level out to members here at InTheMoneyStocks.com on MasterCard as the resistance level. Today, the exact high of MA is $420. That's a very, very key level, folks. And again, one to watch. And it perfectly hit on an intraday basis at 420, new all-time high on MasterCard. All right, scanning through, Microsoft is down, very nice there. Baidu is trading flat. Google's up just 50 cents. You know, it's interesting because you're seeing certain stocks strong like Apple, Chevron, Exxon are doing pretty well today, and JPM. And then you're seeing other stocks like Google really not participating too much. MasterCard is up. We talked about that, but Microsoft is down on the day. Research in Motion, Amazon, both down on the day. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Hewlett-Packard's down on the day as well as Visa. So MasterCard's up, Visa down. A little bit of a disparity right there. All right, bottom line is, folks, this is what it comes down to. The markets are coming into a major turning point here. All right, now we're talking about over the next couple weeks. We're going to be unveiling that to our members here, positioning our members as we have already started to do. If you want this information, if you want to become one of the elite here at InTheMoneyStocks.com and in the entire trading world, take that 7-day free trial to the Research Center. Get involved, learn these proprietary keys, and make millions. That simple. Talk to you soon, folks. Take care.